Welcome to this relaxed exploration of Cape Canaveral. Cape Canaveral, located in Florida, the USA, it's quite a fascinating space to explore. Some 3,000 rockets have been launched from these facilities over here, and when looking at Cape Canaveral, you'll notice a number of these launch pads or launch facilities that exist within the Cape Canaveral region. The area itself used to be a marshland that in 1949 was transformed into a missile testing area and has since become a spot where effectively the peak or pinnacle of human engineering technology research has come together, and how we see the rockets that have been launched, some 3,000 of them from NASA and SpaceX and others from this region. And you can think of all the technologies that have been developed with it and how those technologies have in one way or another been applied in our own lives as well. So one of the pads that I want to show you quick, if you click on any one of these, you can see there's just a brief description and a photo of these. But the one I want to show you is pad 39A. Why this one is a particular special one is this is the pad that the Apollo 11 missions were launched from. If you take the little Google dude and drop him here, you can get a great street view of the huge structures that still exist from where the rockets were launched all those many decades ago. Really an amazing thing if you think about the technologies that need to be applied and work together to get a man to a moon and back. So it's very interesting to have a look at. Check the surrounding area as well. So exiting the street view, can explore some of the other interesting spots around here in Cape Canveral. One of the more interesting things here is interesting juxtaposition that exists. You'll notice we have this land here which has been developed and been used, and countless rockets have been launched from here. But right next to it is the Merritt Island National Wildlife Refuge, which exists as both a refuge for animals but as well as a buffer for between the rocket launch area and the surrounding communities, as I think the amount of sound that gets created from any one of these rocket launches is quite impressive. But as well, it provides just a buffer should there be some incidences or accidents or something like that. But this wildlife refuge is actually home to 21 endangered species, and there exist manatees and alligators in this region. And just interesting just to see, natural protected area right next to the spots of human technology development infrastructure. What is nice about or why this area was chosen is that it is one of the best spots in the USA to launch rockets, as usually they launch over the ocean over here. So should there be any incidents, or should any rocket parts or fuel tanks need to be dropped off, it will land here in the ocean away from the civilization over here. And also, as Florida is one of the southernmost states in the US, it's in terms of the amount of rocket fuel that needs to be expended for the rockets to get to a geosynchronous orbit around the Earth. This is one of the best spots in terms of location, where it's far enough away from communities, but also close enough that we can get rockets to the equator without spending more rocket fuel than what we need. In zooming in on Cape Canaveral over here, there are a couple of interesting things that we can identify. First is this skid strip over here. This is where some of the space shuttles can come back and land, and can be used with other aerial vehicles. And what's also interesting to note are the infrastructure connecting the launch pads on the various spots where the rockets are made. And we can see, for example, this is Launch Complex 31 over here. Just click on it to see if you can see anything. First launch complex number 22. Some of these are decommissioned or not really used. But what I'm also curious about, we got this infrastructure over here, but I'm very curious to see what the infrastructure must look like under the ground. I imagine that there's huge amounts of piping available for water or fuel or whatever it may be. And the entire complex looks very interesting. So let's have a look if we can find the Kennedy Space Center. We're all taking us over there. Take a spot over there, and then let's see if we can. You'll notice this is the building over here, which huge technology is taking place, but I think you can only see it from the side of the road over here. Let's see if you can see it. There we go. It's quite an impressive structure, actually, if you think about it. Can we move forward a little bit? It's fascinating to think about the technology that takes place, or that has taken place, in these areas and regions. So this is a very brief exploration of the area. Let me know if you've managed to visit here at all, if you've been to the visitor center. Do you live in the area? Can you hear the rockets? And have you seen any of these rockets take off by yourself? Just having a look at some of the built-up areas below. One of the things I found quite interesting is a golf course that they developed here in the marsh area as well. This looks like a series of baseball fields. And I think what I love about Google Earth is that we get to explore the world above. I've never really had the chance to come here before. It would be great to visit. I've only been to the NASA center itself, but never onto Cape Canveral before. And it's just very interesting just to see the vegetation growth around it, these beaches that exist around these launch complexes. And it's quite fascinating to see. Do wonder, in zooming in here, what these patches are. You see these ones over here. Do you know? Let me know.